Bonjour, tout le monde, c'est Catherine Ousselin. Hi, welcome. This is the English version of the presentation to IFProfs, the new website for the USA teachers. So, my name is Catherine Ousselin, and I am the chairperson for the ATF Commission on Technology. That's a good one. I'm also the Region 9 representative, so if you live in Alaska, Washington, Oregon, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, North Dakota, and South Dakota, I'm your representative. I'm also an admin on the French Teachers in the USA Facebook page. So if you've seen me there, saying, can I help you find something? That's me. That's what I look like. Also, I am the social media manager for the ATF, so I take care of the Facebook page, Pinterest, YouTube, Digo, and the Wiki, which is what we're here to talk about today. I'm going to share my screen with you and show you a few things. Here we are at the Wiki. About 4 years ago, I noticed a lot of teachers were trying to share things on our Facebook page. And it's great because you can add PowerPoints and Word documents. You can put links on there. We can talk about it. And it's wonderful. The only problem is that teachers couldn't find these shared items again. So I said, how about if we make a wiki and we put everything there? And that way, when you have a resource that you want to share, you can put it on the wiki and say, hey, I put this resource on the wiki. That would be the ideal use. Then people would come in to our wiki and search. So if they wanted to look up songs, they could put in chanson or they could put in songs. Okay, and they would find everything that people shared. We put in songs. It just depended on how you labeled the resource. So, the search isn't perfect. It's in a Google thing because if the person didn't put the exact wording that you put in, then the search isn't going to help you very much. We have something like 500 members on this wiki, and that is a great thing. 536 from where we were in the beginning. I'm so proud of everyone that's joined, and I'm hoping that you continue to join, but we only talk about the wiki because some people were saying that it was difficult to edit the wiki. So I'm going to go to a page. Let's do the IPA page. And if you aren't a member of the wiki, you wouldn't see where it says here, edit. And that's where some people were getting a bit confused, as I can't add stuff. And then I did a video that you can look up as well. I'll put a link to it, where I said, if you're not a member, this is what it looks like. But once you join the wiki and you say, hey, I'd like to become a contributor on this, I would add you, and then you'll be able to edit. And I went through and showed you how to edit by putting in things. And for some people, this was a bit more technologically advanced than they're used to. Although it is very similar to adding an attachment to an email or posting something in Facebook, I want to make sure that everyone feels comfortable with that. Several months ago, Carl Cougar from the Service Culturel in Washington, D.C. got in contact with Jean Chaconnay. He's the new attaché in San Francisco, and they said, well, we want to become a part of this IFProf. So this is from the Institut Français. If you've been to their website, you'll notice, type it, Institut. There we go. Institut Français, it's under, there we are. It's a wonderful website with lots of resources for French teachers around the world, and you can find lots of shared products that have come from different people. Okay, so, but they also have a website, it's called IFProf, and that's le réseau social de l'éducation en français. And as you see, there are websites for several different countries, and the newest one is les États-Unis, which we're so excited about because previously when you went to this map, you saw nothing except for Mexique. We have this, and so Jean Chaconnay and I are the current admins, and we're going to take the items that are on our wiki with your permission or with your help, and we're going to be transferring them over. Why do we have this? There are so many different resources that teachers use or that they're looking for. And the idea of collaboration is pulling our ideas together. We really want there to be a strong base for teachers so they don't feel like they are alone, or they don't feel like they have to use only their textbook resources. There's so much time in a day, and the amount of time that you have to create and publish and produce, it is small. So we need to give you something that's ready to go. In the next video that you're going to see, Jean Chacounet and I went through I'll present part of it here, the website to show you how to use it. And here's our pictures. And we are going to be working with the ATF as one of the partners, but there are also several other partners that are involved with this throughout the United States. There's a video that you can watch that will show you, I can put a link to that, of course, to give you an introduction of why this réseau social exists. And then I'm just kind of throwing you through this, is that you're going to create a profile and start looking for groups. And we do have Facebook groups. I understand that Facebook and IFProf are very similar. Facebook is international, so is IFProf. But IFProf was made for French teachers. So you have to consider, what type of audience do you want to work with? Now, in our French Teachers in the US page, we have 4,000 plus members, and we're all French teachers, at least most of us are. And you say, well, why would I want to leave that group where I know people and I can, discuss things privately? It's a closed group. IFProf, there will be public and private groups. It's a decision that you'll have to make for yourself. I'm not saying that you should leave the ATF page or the French Teachers in the US page. It's that you're going to have another resource to draw upon. And some people say, I want all of my resources in one place. And my gentle pushback is, just like we ask our students to find more than one resource to support their work, I invite teachers to model that behavior and say, okay, we can leave the comfortable realm of Facebook to find other things. When you get a group together, we're going to have we're going to have groups for AP French teachers. If you use a textbook like Discovering French or Bien Dit, you'll be able to go and join that group. But if you find that there is no group that meets your requirements, say you're a TPRS teacher, or you are working on a collaborative project for Versailles, you could start a group on your own, and you could add all sorts of information to that. And join a group is easy. All you do is click on a group and decide if it's going to be public or private. You name the group, you put in some objectif and who you're looking for. The Institut Français, it's designed for French teachers around the world, and so the common language is French. And as much as you may feel that you're not ready to publish everything in French, we're just going to gently encourage that you do as much as you can. I will be looking through, and if there's somewhere I can help you with changing something to French, that's not a criticism. It's just saying we're trying to make sure that teachers from all over the world can look at these resources. And if you have a little error, that's okay. We all have errors. Native French speakers have errors. Let's try and get over that hump of it's not good enough to be published and my French isn't good enough. So when you start a group, if you make it public, anyone can read what you share. If you make it private, of course, it's just for people who are in that group. You can join groups from all over the world. So if you want to go to a group in Egypt or Slovakia or Russia, because they have French teachers too, it's great to see what people are doing around the world. And it's meant for French teachers. So you're going to be able to search and publish. And what I really like about this is that you can decide, do you want to search in just one area, or do you want to search around the world? So you could have it just be on the IFProf France page. You could have it be on the whole world page. You could have it just in the United States. And you're going to be able to define the parameters. So I like that, because once you find that you know a certain contributor, so this person is a membre, you know this person, you say, I want to find specifically ones by this person. If you want to use a certain theme or the age, you can decide if you want certain activities or if it's project, and then you can use the niveau. Now, the niveau are from the CECR, and that European platform If you look at A1, A2, B2, you know, those don't correspond to our intermediate, low, intermediate, high, novice, but you have the same idea that A1, A2 are intermediate, are novice and intermediate. B2, you're getting into intermediate, high, advanced, low, C1, etc. So look at it that way. It's a great way to familiarize yourself with the common European platform. So let's say that you find the perfect resource and you want to save it. So you are going to go to Sélectionner, and basically that puts a little bookmark on your account for that exact resource. And when you're ready to go back and find it again, you go back to your profile, and there's my publications, my selections. You have some colleagues, because we're going to try and ask you to follow each other, which is a fun way to meet teachers from all over the world or just in your own state. For those teachers who are by themselves in a district, it's good to know that you can find, we could make a group just for Kansas French teachers. What a great way to connect this group. Yes, you could have a Facebook group, I understand, and so I'm going to ask which one you decide, you make your choice, but this one's available, and it's a free site, of course. So under Mes Sélections, you'll have the things that you have marked, which is an easy way to find. And Facebook is in some school districts, teachers are not allowed access to this. So IFProf is a great choice because it's not a banned URL. You can bookmark your items at home and then find them again at school, and you don't have any conflicts. So when you have something to share, you can publish, and it could be a document, just a Word document. It could be a PowerPoint that you've used. It could be a website link, a video. There's going to be all sorts of options for you. So you need to put a title on it. And again, if you can do it in French, that's great. If not, try and use some franglais. You're going to put a short résumé, just tell us what it is. If you're just copying text, so if you just have a quick conversation or a quick story you want to share with them, you could just copy paste it. But you have other options down below. So if you want to upload a file, so here's where you can put in Word or PowerPoint, or if you have a smart notebook file that you want to share with someone, those are great. Not everybody has that, but if you know that you can upload a complete notebook, other teachers are going to love you for that. If you're using a Promethean board, I believe that you can do the same. So that part you'd have to experiment with. If you have a picture or an infographic that you think would be great for a certain theme, you could upload that in the images. And then you would put, I would use this for, you could do, j'utiliserai cette infographie pour le gaspillage alimentaire. Okay. You can put in sound files. So if you have something that's online, meaning you put it on SoundCloud or Sherbet or another sort of, even Vocaroo, you could put a URL right there. If you've got a link to another site that you think that teachers should use, please share it and tell us what it is about or why you uploaded it. When you've put all of that in, you're going to be able to put down some more detailed directions for the people who are searching. So you'll be able to tell them the age, appropriate, and you can mark more than one. What type of activity? Is it comprehension? Is it production? Is it an interaction? Love that. I love this type d'activité because sometimes teachers say, I want an activity that's reading, that's meant for 15-year-olds. Okay, well, there it's already been precisely detailed. Is this a text? Is it a video? Which level? What kind of activity is it? Is it a project? Is it something that they're going to do for several activities? And then you're going to have a whole bunch of themes. So when you're giving this amount of information, it makes the search even better than Google, honestly. And it's even better than the Wiki. It's sort of like Digo or Delicious Bookmarks, where you can add specific keywords that will help you find what you're looking for or what you're sharing better. There's also on the site, you can click, instead of sharing, say, an activity for students, there are des ressources méthodologiques. Wow, there's a fun word to say, méthodologiques. And that's more for the teacher aspect. For the pedagogical, you found a good resource for teachers to read, or you've tried something, maybe you've tried AIM, or you've got a TPR, so you know how to do a movie talk. You've got something you want to show teachers how to use it, And this is more for your learning. We also have the ressource brute, which if it's kind of like a general, here's a quick share, so you can put in a video, and this is something you won't have an activity for. So you just say, I found this great video, it would be great for gaspillage alimentaire. If you don't have something prepared, this is where you're going to put it. Or if you're just looking for a video, this is where people put them. So the ressource brute, there's all sorts, and again, you can decide, do you want it just from IFProf from the United States, or do you want to look in the entire world? I love that option because sometimes teachers around the world have different approaches, different comparisons, cultural approaches. Let's look out there. So when you're searching on IFProf, you're going to use most likely, well, you should be using French keywords. So if you're looking for songs, put in chanson. If you've got a question, maybe you want just activities, then use the pédagogique. If you're looking for just basic resource, look under brut. And then decide, do you want it from around the world or just from the United States? I'm going to show you the site. So up here is where you're going to click on those. So if you're looking for a ressource pédagogique, you can click up there. And you're going to put your research right in here. So you could put in histoire, France, something like that. Okay. And you're going to get all of these. Okay, now, again, you're going to have to go through and decide, do you want this from the United States or do you want it from around the world? And I had put this on from around the world, so you're going to get Histoire de Hongrie. Okay, so if you want to make it a more precise research, then at the beginning, click on that. Okay. And right now there's not going to be too much because we're just starting to transfer things from the wiki over here. And this is where I need your help. If you have published on the wiki before, I have two options. I am taking my own work and putting it on, and it will show up under my name. So here are some things that I've shared. If you prefer, you can take something that you've done, you've shared with us, go and make yourself a profile, become part of our group, and then just transfer it over. You do not have to delete from the wiki. I'm going to keep the wiki up for a couple more years because it is a good resource. A lot of people have put some seriously good work on here, and I don't want to just take the site down and have everybody sort of freak out saying, I didn't even know that IFProf was in existence. But I will put on the first page, there is now an IFProf. If you don't want to transfer your stuff, your resources that you've shared with us, I can put them on there. It will be under my name, but I will put your name. I will say shared by. And I think that's a good way to start, but I want to make sure that you get the credit for what you've done. If you don't want your resources to go on, that's understandable. Maybe we can connect on email or on a Google Hangout. You can say, you know, Catherine, don't publish my stuff on there. But for right now, I'm just pushing my stuff over, and then I'm going to be contacting people who have been on the wiki before. Okay. I really do hope that you try this out. It's on a massive amount of work for me to put everything on there, but if we start little by little, this is going to be a resource for teachers that I can't even imagine that you would deal without this. We're going to ask that you don't put resources that our teachers pay teachers or anything that we have to pay for. So if you have a blog, please share your blog under maybe ressource brute or ressource méthodologique, my favorite word. But if you're trying to sell something from your blog, I'll ask that you keep that on maybe the French and Spanish teachers off-topic page. The IFProf is specifically for non-profit resources. If you want to become a part of another country's page, you can do that as well. So you go on to a country, maybe you want to go to Senegal. And you can join groups as well in there. And that's a way to get to know teachers from around the world. So maybe you'll make a connection with a colleague. So I'm going to show you my colleagues right now. I've got 5. And so here are the people I'm working with. And we can send messages to each other. We can collaborate. We can have discussions. So if you're back on the IFProf World site and you choose Senegal, you can find their groups that they have going. Okay, so these are the teachers in Senegal, and you could become part of that group and connect with teachers. What a great way for teachers who are looking for connections outside of France or Canada. They don't know much about the other Francophone countries. So they can go in here and you can, if it's a closed group, you have to ask. If it's an open group, you can just join. Closed groups, you're not going to see all of the publications until you become a member. So same thing, you won't see all of the members right away, or maybe you will. Okay, so that you can become a colleague with this person. All you have to do is click on that person, and that means that you two will be in collaboration. And when you see those people, they'll be under My Colleagues. If you just want to stay in the United States, make sure that you're clicking on IFProf États-Unis, and then you'll see our groups. And like I say, we're hoping that you start some groups in the United States, okay, so that you have maybe a group that you know would be perfect for your area, for your teaching methods. If you're an EDU breakout type of teacher, you can meet with teachers from all over the world just by creating a group like this. Okay, so I think I've pretty much explained everything that you should know. We're not going to take the wiki down, but I am going to start transferring the wiki, and I will start asking teachers who are on the French Teachers in the US page to join and maybe consider posting them. Sharing on the Facebook site has been problematic in that it's hard to find the resources that have been shared. People do go to the search group and they type in what they're looking for and they see all the posts. Granted, that's a great way to do that. But if you want to be precise, if you want to have more parameters to choose from, this is a good place because you're going to be able to put more descriptors in there. Sometimes people use different words, so you have to be patient with that. I think you'll have a lot more options if you go through IFProf. If you love the wiki and you want to continue contributing to the wiki, I appreciate your honesty to share. I shouldn't say honesty. I want to say your generosity. That's the word I'm looking for. And I encourage you to consider working with IFProf. But if the wiki is more comfortable for you, I understand. I might ask you if I can move your stuff over. And of course, someone's going to start weed whacking just as I finish up my video. So there's the door closing. Please contact me if you have any questions. How do you find me? I'm everywhere. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. Here's my email address. Okay. I thank you for watching this. So let's go back to the Hangout. There I am. Greetings. As the curator for the ATF, it's my mission to make sure that you do not have to spend your valuable time searching for resources everywhere. I'd like to have you feel free to explore both sites and decide, maybe I prefer the wiki, maybe I prefer both. But you shouldn't have to spend hours looking for all these resources. Don't forget that the ATF has an amazing YouTube channel where we have thematic playlists with videos that are appropriate for K-16. We have a Digo site that shows all sorts of links to other resources that are not video. If you're a Pinterest type of person, there are at least 35 to 50 tables all set up ready for you, boards, by themes. And even though it says AP, it doesn't mean that those resources are only for AP. I'm just using the theme name that AP gives. If it's something that you need and you have a hard time finding it, try looking on our wiki, try looking on the IFProf. You're going to find it. Or, you know, always ask in the French teachers in the US. I hope your 2017-2018 year is filled with exciting discoveries on these resource sites for you. If you need any help uploading or getting your name, getting your profile set up, please contact me, because that's my job as the Commission on Technology chairperson. I'm here to help. Bonnes vacances, bonne continuation. A bientôt.